And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hawkwinds Radio Picture Show. I'm your host, Jay Smooth. Hope everyone's having a really lovely Wednesday. We got a special show for you guys. Tonight, we have comedian Bronwyn Galloway.
Hello.
Say hello, Bronwyn.
Hello. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming. It's freaking terrible weather we're having, aren't we?
Yeah, after that Monday, and then just I think it was snowing a little bit today. It hailed yesterday.
Yeah, we got really, that one day that was really nice. It just spoiled us.
And then we're getting punished for it.
Man.
Classic.
Yeah. So for those of them joining in right now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and maybe your favorite ice cream flavor?
Yeah, totally. So I'm a stand-up based in Chicago. I've been doing stand-up for a little bit over a year at this point. It started last year in January, and it's been a really wild ride so far. I've gotten to do a lot of things that I never pictured myself doing. My favorite ice cream flavor... that's hard. There's like a flavor from my hometown in Ithaca that I always used to like. It was called Madigan Mint, and it's mint chocolate ice cream with chunks of Oreo in it.
You know, mint chocolate ice cream never fails, especially with
So
Oreo.
good.
Freaking love Oreo.
So good.
So you're not originally from Chicago. Where are you from?
No, I'm from upstate New York. So Ithaca, if people don't know, it's where Cornell is, Cornell University. And so it's known for waterfalls, restaurants. We have a pretty small population. I think when I was a kid, a third of our population was college students. So it was a really big difference in the summer when all the students were gone. But yeah, that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
And
Did you start comedy in what was it, Ithaca?
no, so in Ithaca, I just lived there for until I went to college. I went to college in Syracuse University, which is like an hour north of there.
I know
And-
Syracuse.
You do?
Yeah, I've one of my buddies lives there, and I went to visit him on spring break one time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go Orange, yeah. It's cold. It's cool there. But no, I started comedy in Chicago, which is a really cool place to start. Actually, it's because it's an underrated but really really big city with a lot of comedy opportunities. So to start here is a little intimidating because you're surrounded by a lot of great talent, but there's a lot to do and a lot to grow. So.
Sweet. Yeah, no. So take me back to when you first started comedy. What made you want to get into it?
I kind of assumed everyone wanted to be a comedian. I thought that was literally everyone's dream, but then I don't know, 0.01% of people actually had the chops to be able to do that or the innate skill. So I kind of just was like, well, I figure there's not a high chance I have that. So I kind of left it on the back burner ever since I was a kid. And then there's a story that I kind of started with, and that when that story happened, it was one of the things that pushed me to just try my first open mic because I needed to tell the world about what had happened. And it went horribly. Not horribly, but it wasn't great. And I just, I still liked it, and that brought me, coming back over and over again. I caught the bug, I guess, and then I just wanted to get better, and you can't really get better without trying over and over.
Sweet. So you moved to Chicago. Do you remember your first stand-up open mic, or what did you do first?
Yeah, I prepared for I think a week. I was sitting on my floor memorizing this 4-minute story about this time that I was living in Ireland and going to Catholic school, which was a crazy experience. And I thought it was great. I pride myself on being an okay writer. And I put it all together. I memorized it. I had no notes. I went up for my first open mic. No laughs. None.
Oh, no.
Until an improvised line at the very end when I just was so over the entire experience and I just threw out something and that got a laugh. And I was like, oh, okay. It made me realize that there's a huge difference between an amusing story and a stand-up set. And I had just told an amusing story and people were waiting for 4 minutes for a punchline, basically. I was edging them.
I see. I guess kind of no, well, I guess you can tell us what the difference is between an amusing story and a stand-up set.
I think the main difference, at least for me, I would say, is one works in a social setting and doesn't in comedy, and the reverse. So you can, the story I told would have been great for the cocktail party. It would have been great for hanging out with relatives that I hadn't seen in a while. It would have been, I would have gotten some light chuckles. It just isn't the same format as a stand-up set, and vice versa. If you do a stand-up set, like a real true stand-up set in front of relatives or something, or at a cocktail party, it's a little socially weird to do that. It's people did not pay to see you. It's not an audience. These are real humans that can talk back to you.
Hey mom, so what's the deal with toothpaste?
Yeah, exactly. So it was the wrong format for that kind of thing, but it was a really useful lesson early on.
Yeah. How did you deal with, like, I guess the people not like laughing at your first set ever?
Oh, it was mortifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still get those moments where you're like maybe like performing in front of the wrong crowd or something, and people are just like, oh, I don't understand what this is.
Kind of. Like the first time was rough because you just it's your worst nightmare, right? Everyone is like, oh, I'll do my first open mic, and it can't possibly be that no one's gonna laugh the entire time. It's like, no, that could happen, and it does. But I think now, knowing that like every bomb, every bad set is an opportunity to learn something from it, it's less scary now, and I know it's gonna happen. So probably good to go in the deep end.
Yeah, right. When you did your first open mic and everybody was like, oh shit, like they didn't know what to expect. But then at the end you said you had like a little glimpse of like everybody laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of like with a lot of artists of like entertainers of like most forms, where it's all like if they want, they're gonna try to pursue it, they just look for that one little opportunity. I feel like was that kind of your
kind
thing?
of. Yeah, it was like one crack into like the view of what a successful set could look like, and I was like, oh yeah, that's
what I want. Yeah, because most people would be like, oh, the whole set went wrong, I'm gonna not do this anymore.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
But
so what were some of your like biggest comedian influences coming into this?
Influences is like I actually do think out of most of the comics that I'm friends with and talk to, I have less of a solid foundational background of comedy knowledge. Like I don't know a lot of the classic like people's sets. People say comedians' names all the time that I like should know, and I don't. And that's not like something I'm proud of. I do want to do more like looking into that, but I don't think that I am necessarily my style is influenced, but for people that I look up to and think are absolute gods at it, like Mitch Hedberg was huge for me as a kid, just for like watching his stuff. I really currently enjoy like Nikki Glaser. I really enjoy how she's so cutting. Like her stuff is so like and then she has such a feminine like pretty aesthetic going on. I really like the juxtaposition that she does there. So I just love comedy in general. I just don't actually have like a ton of background knowledge about it.
Yeah. I mean, we are in like Women's Month and stuff like that. Do you have any other like female comedians that you've seen or that you look up to?
Almost everyone in the scene. I mean, I'm spoiled, I feel like, in Chicago to be surrounded by some of the best comedians in the country, genuinely. And we have an insane talent pool, especially of women in this city. Like, it's kind of crazy. I mean, consistently, just like punch for punch. I don't think that there's like a real difference in like how killer someone is here, no matter what their gender is. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm biased. But.
I feel that. No, have you done comedy in other cities or just Chicago?
I've done a little bit. I got a chance to perform a little bit in Charleston last year. I go to Baltimore a little bit, a couple times a year. So I've done some. I just did a show at the Port in Baltimore, which was super, super cool. And I'm gonna be doing. There's like a comedy festival in Michigan, the Cassopolis one. I'll be doing at the end of May. So yeah, I've bounced around a little bit, but looking to do more.
Oh yeah, was like your first show like the worst bombing show you've had, or have you had any really bad ones that you can tell us?
Okay, so there was this show that I did, and it was. So this is all. I want to be clear. Like, this is a story that's cleared up now and it has a happy ending. But it was really funny because, my friend had a partner who did not like me, like at all. For some reason, we just had beef. But I didn't really know about it. It was okay. And she happened to have a really distinctive, loud laugh. And so she was in attendance at this show. Every comic before me, she's laughing super hard. They're killing. The vibes are great. in the room. I go up. She intentionally like holds back and doesn't laugh the entire time, and you can tell like it is like the room is different, right? Because it's missing that like signature laugh that has been there for everything before. And so that was a hard set for me because I at the time did not realize that was what was going on. I didn't know that we had that beef, and I didn't know that like she didn't like me. So for me, I was like, why am I suddenly, what's going, like it was just a learning experience for sure of just being like, what did I do to like make everyone upset?
Oh man, no, that sucks.
I mean, no, it's hilarious in retrospect.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah. I can see that.
And it's a power. Like if you have a distinctive voice like that and you can just like hold back and make someone want to jump off a building, like
Hell yeah.
more power to
Why
you.
not?
Yeah.
Speaking of people in the crowd, do you ever come across like any weird hecklers or anything?
Oh yeah. When I was at Laugh Factory, I think this was my first time on the stage of Laugh Factory. The open mic happens right after the last show, so there's sometimes audience members that hang out and are a little tipsy to drunk, and they're just like hanging out watching the open mic. So I go up, and part of the bit that I was doing involved asking the audience whether they think I look like Anne Frank. And so I ask, and people are supposed to clap if they do and hold back if they don't. I ask if I look like Anne Frank, and instead of clapping, this woman in the front goes, "No, I don't think you look like Anne Frank." I'm like, okay, thank you, cool. 3 minutes later, I'm doing a different part of the set, completely different joke, not talking about Anne Frank, and out of nowhere, the same woman goes, "Oh yeah, you do look like Anne Frank." And I'm like,
Oh no.
shut up. Please
Oh
stop.
man. That's funny. How do you handle people like that? Like, do you just like shake it off, or do you tell them something? Like, do you call security?
It can really depend because sometimes acknowledging them eggs them on more, right? Like you don't want to become like sometimes they're looking for attention, and then if you give it to them, it's a whole other situation. For that one, I just was like, okay. It was the end of my set anyway, and it was I could just get off, but it can be really hard. I don't think that anyone knows the golden way to get rid of a heckler at this point because you also you risk affecting the crowd, right? And the vibe, because if you, I don't know, send security right away and get someone who, it changes things. Like the crowd is going to be a little bit put off by that sudden like shift in energy.
No, it's funny you say that. I ask comedians all the time how they deal with hecklers, and everybody has a different answer. Somebody was all like, "Oh yeah, I took the heckler because they were really drunk. Like I took the heckler, I told them we were gonna go backstage, but then I went through the backstage and I took them out to the alley and I told them, you know what, you can't come back in here anymore. You're done or whatever." So it's kind of funny how everybody deals with hecklers differently.
Yeah, I mean they suck. Like don't get me wrong. I think like if you do that at a comedy show, like you just don't know what the art form is supposed to be about, but. Like there's like you can go outside and do that, right? Like you have freedom of speech to go say whatever you want in almost every other context. The one time that you're not supposed to talk is exactly where you're sitting in that audience.
I feel that. Yeah, no, I've been at fault at heckling after having a couple of drinks.
Oh really?
It's not fun.
No, it's not for anyone involved.
I'm all like the next day I'm like getting all these messages, "Man, why were you doing this?" I'm like, fuck, sorry guys.
Damn, don't come to a show. No,
don't come to your show. Oh, fuck. All right. Just kidding. So let's talk about your writing style a little bit. How do you come up with jokes? How would you describe your comedy style to everybody else?
Definitely leans like story based. I like to do kind of like actual stories from my life because I have a lot of, I don't know, lore that I can pull from. But then I've noticed that if I just sometimes my inclination is to tell a story exactly the way that I've been telling it at like a cocktail party or something, or like, to my dad or something. But that doesn't tend to work as well. It's good for getting the initial thoughts out there and maybe like seeing which parts people are reacting to. But it does need a sit down session or multiple ones where I'm like actually crafting the structure of what I'm saying and cutting out. A huge part of it is cutting out a lot of filler words because my writing tends to have a lot of just like fluff and you gotta like cut.
And
well, not even that. Just like if there's so many ways to shorten something or like maybe there's a sentence that you think needs to be there, but it doesn't. It's not really relevant.
It's kind of like writing lyrics for a song or something like that.
Yeah, in a way, for sure.
Do you think there's like a good amount of time that a joke needs to last, or is it just whatever you feel like?
I mean, it depends. There's like great 3-second jokes. There's great 3-minute jokes. Yeah, it's just whether people are liking it.
You got any great 3-second jokes?
No, I don't have any 3-second jokes.
Are they all just stories?
They're not all I have I mean, like, there is that one clip I would say is, I think, my shortest joke probably is the weed gun joke.
Oh hell yeah. I actually have it pulled up right here for the audience to see, and I guess if you want to explain a little bit while people are watching this, I'll bring it up.
Also, I have a gun.
There we go.
Anyone else?
Yeah, so this one didn't take a lot of reworking.
Nice.
I just
if you didn't know,
kind of started doing it. Like, I think I ran into the punchline at some open mic, and
you gotta choose between being impaired.
It's such a
prepared,
silly joke.
right?
I don't think it. It's funny that it's one of my like better known ones, and people like talk to me about it, and I'm
now I
like,
get my weed for free.
it's very simple. Like, I don't actually know why people like it so much, but people love it, and I'm like, hey.
I was having a good laugh when I was
so
watching this because it's very relatable to some people. Well, yeah, I mean, so I personally have a medical marijuana card, but I also have a FOID card.
Okay, so this is the thing: is that not
Also, I
only
have
do
a
people
gun.
seem to love this joke, people love to tell me I'm wrong about the legal advice, quote unquote, that I'm giving in this joke. They're like, that's actually not true. And I'm like, hey, that's not why I'm telling the joke. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm not really here to inform people. But tell me about it. Like, am I wrong about that? Because
I think that you can't have a conceal and carry and medical marijuana.
yeah. See, I'm not gonna that's too wordy. I don't.
Yeah. No, you. Oh, and conceal and carry. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. No. So it's like, thank you everyone who's told me that I'm wrong about that. I will not be changing the joke.
So
Sorry.
What kind of gun do you have?
A Glock 19.
Glock 19. Yeah. I've shot a couple of those before. Those are fun.
They're very fun. It's a little, like, I mean, I also wouldn't really tell that joke if I didn't have one. I feel like it'd be kind of silly, but
Right.
I didn't have a lot of experience growing up with guns. Like, my parents don't like guns. They're really uncomfortable with the fact that I have one. But okay, here's my opinion. I don't necessarily think guns are a tool that humans should really like have. Like, I think it's crazy that you can own one. That being said, if you can own one, I want one. That's all I'm gonna say.
Do you think more women should own guns at all?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If they want.
I second that. No, for sure. I feel like, no, like you said, I feel like if you can own a gun, why not have it? You know what I mean? Just for protection.
Yeah.
How long have you been living in Chicago for?
3.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really love it. I don't really want to leave.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like, I know a lot of comedians, they start off in Chicago and then they want to go to like New York, or like recently like Austin has been like a big like comedy hub for people.
Mm-hmm.
Is Chicago like your final destination, or would you like to like maybe someday move out to one of those places and keep growing or something?
I would never rule out moving to another place to expand, but I mean, I've only been doing this for a little over a year in Chicago, so I have so much more to get out of Chicago. I think that I've like barely scratched the surface of like just there's so many cool shows and opportunities I want to be a part of before I even think about moving. And I've got a lot of good momentum going here, so I really don't see it happening anytime soon. And I do think Chicago's overall underrated. Like, I constantly see people having conversations about, I mean, don't get me wrong, LA, New York, Austin all have so much going for them in their own ways, but like, don't count Chicago out. I see on a daily basis, on like, walk into any given open mic and you're like, oh, some of the best talent literally in the country is just right there, and people don't even realize.
Yeah, no, I definitely encourage people to like go out to more comedy shows, and definitely what I've heard from other comedians is that we like industry in Chicago. There's a lot more industry happening in like New York and stuff like that. What do you think it'll take to get Chicago on that map of like, all right, I'm starting off here. Let me make it big in Chicago. Do you think that's even a possibility?
Gosh, I mean, it's hard because I don't think I have the professional experience to like really speak to what exactly we need here for that. But yeah, I guess it'd be nice to have kind of a bigger chunk of acting gigs. I know a lot of like comics do multiple kind of performance related arts. So a lot of people dip into modeling or acting and comedy, and it's easier to make a living doing the arts if you can have multiple forms of income. So I think that's probably a big part of it. I also think to your point about people should be coming out to the comedy shows more. If you enjoy comedy and like price is a barrier, maybe you're just like, I don't know if I want to spend $20 like on a show. A lot of times if you follow specific comedians, they'll have like discount codes, or even if you DM them and be like, can I have they have like comped tickets a lot. So it's always worth checking out and seeing if there's like a deal going on, because we get it too. A lot of comics are broke, and we just want people to like be there. We don't people in seats is ultimately
yeah. And to make your point even more, there's a lot of free comedy shows that happen all the time. I get free tickets to like the Lincoln Lodge all the time, like on my email and stuff. I'm always showing up, and like if people want to explore the comedy scene, I'm pretty sure even if like price is a barrier, they can like
totally.
There's a lot of free.
Love the Lincoln Lodge.
Yeah,
it's the only nonprofit comedy club in the city, and it's where I run my show once a month, Trauma Dumping.
Yeah, tell me about that a little bit. How did that go about being?
Yeah, that was a huge opportunity for me. So I got started with Trauma Dumping late summer, early fall last year, and so mind you, this was 6-7 months into doing comedy, which is much earlier than most people would start getting involved with producing a show. And Gwen Rose, who is like kind of the mind behind Trauma Dumping, she reached out to me. It was kind of a funny sequence of events. Like we had just kind of run into each other at a lot of mics one specific day, and then that day happened to be when the Instagram for Trauma Dumping was created and started following people. I submitted a tape to the Trauma Dumping account because I was like, oh, a new show, let me submit. And she was like, yeah, you're booked. This is a great tape. And then she was like, hey, would you have any interest in maybe being a co-producer, because I'm looking for a producer. And so we just ended up trying it out, and we worked really well together. So it was just kind of like a really interesting opportunity to come up, and I've been really grateful for everything I've learned through it. I really like producing. It's a very different thing than performing, and I've gotten a host doing it. Yeah, it's just been really cool, and we have such a good lineup. Like every month, we're genuinely delivering such a good show. And tickets are $10, and our next one is March 27th. So
hey, March 27th at the Lincoln Lodge, y'all.
Yeah,
$10 tickets. Who can beat that?
Nobody. And hit me up for free tickets if that's a barrier at all for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Besides the Lincoln Lodge, is there any other fun venues that you like to perform at?
Yeah, I mean, I'm new enough that I love performing anywhere that'll have me, honestly. I mean, so my first time, when I first started comedy, I think the stages that meant the most to me in the beginning were the ones that I had personally went and seen comedians while living in Chicago, but not being a comic myself, right? So I had seen a comedian that I really liked at Zany's Old Town. So when I did my first show at Zany's in July last year, that was truly like so humbling, so fun. It was incredible to be like peeing in the green room and thinking like Amy Poehler has peed in this toilet, like, all the greats. So
we're peeing buddies
cool.
now.
Yeah, no, literally, I was like, this is so cool. Laugh Factory, such a fun stage. I would love to. I don't think I've actually gotten a chance to do the Den Theater yet, but that's like on the bucket list.
That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, there's like really a lot of cool stages in Chicago. And Zany's Rosemont, I've gotten to do a couple times. I really like that space.
Yeah, those are cool spots. Yeah, I've been to a few of those.
Yeah.
Always a great time.
Always. There's a feel to them,
Yeah, for sure. Do you have, who was like your dream like opening spot for? Like if you had to open up for a comedian right now,
okay,
who would it be?
I think I have to say Jordan Jensen
Hey.
because she's also from Ithaca.
There
So
you
I
go.
found out we're from the same hometown. I freaking love her style of just like her most recent special on Netflix had me rolling on the floor. I have shown it to so many people. She's hugely inspirational to me, and the fact that we're from the same hometown, yeah, I would love to open for her. So.
Oh yeah. No, that's pretty cool. If you had like 5 minutes on Netflix right now, what would you talk about?
Well, I definitely talk. I would have to talk about the Anne Frank thing. So
What's your Anne Frank joke?
okay,
Now
it's been the
curious.
elephant in the room. So this is the thing that like got me into like really throwing myself into comedy. I last year was dating this woman, and when we were like, I don't know, I'd say mid coitus, she told me that I looked like Anne Frank.
Okay.
And it was exactly as weird as you think it was, if not weirder. And I am like Jewish, so that adds like a weird layer to it. It was inconceivable. I'll just.
I'm trying to imagine it, not like but like if somebody told me you look like certain whatever,
Yeah,
that would
like-
just be like what?
Like, and it's weird because you can't even really fixate on what's the weirdest part of it. Is the weirdest part of it that she said I look like a minor? Is the weirdest part of it that she said I look like a Holocaust victim? Like,
Like it's just like this is just weird.
is this just what lesbians do? Like, I was new to dating women. I'm like, they're pulling moves that I don't really understand. Because I don't think I really truly believe a man would not say that, because I think at their core, I think men are really good at one thing, and that one thing is
We're good at lying. Just kidding.
well, you do it a lot. You're not great at it, but
oh,
I think that
shots fired.
men know when a sentence leaving their mouth is going to lead to them having a higher or lower chance of getting laid, and that sentence leads to a lower chance of getting laid. Like, it's not going to help you get laid. So I really don't think a man would have said that to me at all.
I feel like the entire existence of man is, what can I say to either nod or to get laid?
Right. You're like, I'm like mid coitus. Like we're doing this thing right now, and this is, you're choosing. Okay, got it.
And this is the character you choose to compare me to.
Character, yeah,
Or,
exactly.
I guess not. You know what I mean.
I wish she was a character. I wish she was made up. I wish she said you looked like, I don't know, some random Jewish animated character from something. I could deal with that. I can't.
So dating men and women.
Yeah.
Who would you prefer to date?
Or
who makes the I don't know how to phrase this word, because I don't want to say who makes the best partner, but like I guess you personally, who would you prefer to date?
well, that's like the whole thing though, right? Is that it's both, like they're different. I would prefer to date none of them. I think everyone sucks. I think
true.
I think you guys have proven. I thought men sucked. Nope. That woman helped me understand that everyone's capable of sucking.
So what's
equally.
like one thing that you're like, okay, men suck for this reason, and then what's the other thing that you're like, women suck for this reason? And like dating, I mean.
Ooh, that's tricky. I think men suck mostly as a product of their own created patriarchy. Like, I think that they're like caged in by like a self-made cage, and I think that women suck because you think they're gonna be better, but then they like act like men, I guess.
Oh man.
I think we all. I think we all need to have a conversation. I think we have to have a conversation and get recentered on like what makes a good person and what makes a bad person, because I think some things have been lost in translation. I don't think anyone's happy. I feel like everyone's like can agree that whatever system we have right now is not working, but we can't agree on how we want it to look.
Yeah, dating's a little weird nowadays. It's like you said, you know, like everybody has their own like little weird shit that they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, apps. I know people like that's kind of a thing where you know, you could get content if you wanted to. Like, I know a lot of comics will start a joke out and be like, so I've been on the apps recently, and it's like, I personally don't. I like tried. I think everyone's probably made a profile or two, but I don't like it at all.
You got any like weird matches that you've ever gotten on one of those apps?
Yeah. Last year I was on a date with this guy, and it was going pretty well, I'd say. And then he goes, I gotta stop this. He goes, I don't want to see you anymore because I will like you too much.
What?
And I was like, ew, what? Like, what are you talking about? Just say you like, you know what I mean? That's not a real reason. No one's ever been like, oh, I can't do this. I like them too much, you know?
I feel like that's one of the instances where he was lying.
Exactly, right? And that's why I mean men suck, right? Because what is that? What am I supposed to do with that? You can't even be honest about like not wanting to see me, and like, I don't know.
We'll just lie about anything.
Like, he didn't have to though. Like, I'm an adult. We can all be adults about this.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, if you're gonna lie, come up with like a more interesting one, or like a less like, what?
My grandma died, so I'm moving out of state.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, right? Because to me, automatically you've got two grandmas, right? Like, it's like work. Every time you start a new job, you have like all your grandparents are alive. Every time you go on a date and you need to get out of that, who knows which relatives have passed away. So that one was weird. I've had dates where like, I don't.
Say it.
Okay. This one was bad because I was like, well, I have a joke that kind of goes like this, but it's not related. I was on top, and he pulled out his phone, and I thought he was like changing the music or something. And he was like on his phone for a while. I was like, what's up? He's like, oh, I'm texting. I'm like kind of bored right now.
Huh.
And that's when I committed murder for the first time, I guess.
What do you mean by commit murder?
Oh, I was just joking that I like, well, I did want to stab him. I mean, that's kind of rude, right? To say that? To say I'm bored?
I would, like you said, we either have phrases that get us more or less laid. That's one of the phrases I would categorize as less laid.
Yeah. I don't think you should say that when a part of you is inside someone else, because they could, like, I don't know, retaliate and break it off. Just saying.
Let me like swing a little bit more back this way, and nope.
Dude, I have your future children in my hand. I'll kill you.
Literally in my hands. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh man, no. I mean, yeah, dating is fucking weird, man. I've dated some weird chicks before too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
But
you're like, don't worry, women suck too. Yeah.
Don't worry, ladies. Everybody sucks.
Everyone sucks. But when you find someone that you like, you know, hold on to them.
Yeah.
I guess.
For sure. No, definitely. I mean, like you said, everybody sucks, but if you find that one person, it's like, hell yeah, you're cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you think cancel culture is hurting comedy?
Does everyone get that question, or am I special?
I think everybody. Okay. Everybody gets that question.
No, because cancel culture doesn't really. I mean, like, okay, you can and have always been able to say whatever you want. You have never and never will be insulated from the consequences of what you choose to say. Okay, so like, the world's your oyster. Go fucking say whatever you want on the internet. Make your opinions known. Be as bigoted as you want. It does not mean that everyone has to like what you say or pay to go to your shows. And everyone has always known that. So I don't really get. I think that question is just like funny to me, because it's like, is your shit funny or not? Are you making people laugh or not? That's basically the gold standard. Yeah.
So you're saying like people can say whatever they want as long as their delivery is freaking hilarious.
Well, I mean, the audience decides, right? Like, it is what you're saying in a stand-up context. What you say on stage, it either gets laughs or it doesn't. And if you try a risky thing and you step over the line and you don't get laughs, you were being offensive because people didn't laugh, I guess. And then if you manage to hit it out of the park and you skate that line and you laugh, you got a thumbs up, you know? Like, it's just being able to know your audience and deliver a good joke. I don't think that, I mean, like, does everything you do skirt the line? Is that, like, because I think that question seems to come from like, oh, well, you can't say anything anymore. It's like, what are you talking about? We're talking about infinite material for jokes. We're talking about like literally infinite, and there are so many directions to go. There are comics that do completely clean comedy, and you're saying your little like niche thing has to be the stuff that like 50% of people don't like. Okay, well then you're gonna have a tough time. Sorry to tell you. Maybe like try other jokes.
I feel that. No, I mean, I've gone across some comedians that are like, oh man, I can't say shit anymore. Like people are just like so offended over things. What do you think about those comedians that say stuff like that?
It sounds like they're whining, and it sounds like they should write more.
Yeah. Now, clean comedy. Like I've gotten a couple examples of what clean comedy is, and they're all a little bit different. What's your like take on what is clean comedy? And
I mean, you always have to like double check when you're being booked for something and someone says clean. Like, does that mean PG-13? Does it mean like really family friendly? Like Nate Bargatze is a well-known clean comic, so there's a range. But I think it's probably in people's best interest to have a clean set on them. Like you should, if you want to have the maximum opportunities, right? And like most comics in my stage are trying to have as many opportunities as possible. That means having some clean stuff if some show wants you to do clean stuff. And if you're like, oh, I can only do piss fuck shit, okay, then you're gonna get those. You're gonna like it's
or like if you're in Naperville performing in front of a bunch of moms, you probably want to do like a clean set.
Yeah,
whatever that means to them.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Is there like any jokes or topics that you just won't talk about on stage?
I think it's an interesting question because it's just like, then I wouldn't write about them. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to, I'm writing my own stuff, so I don't have to be like, well, I won't talk about this, because it's like, then I wouldn't write about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't cross my mind, you know?
Yeah. No, that's pretty interesting. Because I've talked to a couple of comics and they're like, oh, well, I said this on stage, and like in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have said that or whatever.
I mean, I do have like, so with that weed gun joke, I was out in the burbs somewhere and I was like, ooh, I don't know this area. I don't know how they're going to respond to a gun joke, right? So I asked the host of the show, I was like, hey, I have a gun joke. Would you recommend staying away from that based on where we are? And she said, oh, well, like there was a school shooting down the road. And I was like, oh, shoot, when? She said 15 years ago.
Oh.
I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm telling that joke. We are, it's America.
Well, what is it? Is like a certain amount of time before you're able to make jokes about something? It's like 10 years or something like that.
I mean, for America and school shootings, 15 years is plenty of time. I thought she was going to say 15 days or something. Like
15 minutes ago, we had somebody shoot up a whole school.
Actually, 15 seconds ago.
No, it's honestly kind of scary how many like school shootings we have in these past couple of years. Like you can't even be safe going to school anymore. It's a little insane.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is why like I definitely, like I said earlier, if you can own a gun, definitely have one for your own safety. What was your first experience with a gun? Like, what do you remember? What was that like?
Well, I mean, I think. Yeah, it was the range. I hadn't never like touched or held a gun until I went to the range with my boyfriend at the time, and he just showed me like how to not be scared of it, basically. And then I took a class. I took a like 5-hour intro to like handguns class, which helped a lot because I just was
it like the conceal and carry thing, or it was just like a regular class? It's
an optional class. You do have to take it before the conceal carry class, I think, but it doesn't count as the conceal carry class. And I think it's interesting that we were talking about school shootings, and then you were like, and yeah, that's why it's important for like everyone to have a gun. It's like
I don't think kids could have a gun.
I don't know if that's the takeaway from that, but I think it's like if there was one thing I would want to see, it'd be like everyone agreeing on, like, because I feel like in this country right now we can't all agree school shootings bad. Action should be taken to reduce. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
It's like we can all maybe hopefully agree with the first part, school shootings bad, but then we seem to all get tripped up on the fact that something should be done
beforehand.
To stop more, because they just keep happening. I mean, we have so many.
Well, and in my opinion, I think it's really easy to get a gun. I feel like it should be harder. It took me about maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes to fill out the application to get my FOID. Right. And then you go to the gun store what, a week you have after a week you have your gun that you want
Right,
to
you
purchase.
have to wait 72 hours between putting the money down and receiving the handgun
Right, so
in Illinois.
A couple of days you have like your
Yeah.
and I feel like there wasn't enough like necessary, and not that I'm like crazy or nothing, but there wasn't necessarily enough like maybe like background check or maybe like a little mental health thing that you should probably go through. I really think and again, like I believe that everybody that can own one should own one, but I don't think it should be that easy to own one.
There should be more stuff in place. I personally think if you're buying a gun, there should be at one point in the gun store, someone should jump out at you very fast and scare you to see what your reaction is, right? Because if like based on that, they should determine whether you get a gun. Because if you can't handle a jump scare and like maybe you start like frothing at the mouth, so like, okay, maybe that person doesn't get a gun, right?
You
know, like just do a little quick, like I don't know, like tase them really quickly or something. Like what happens? Just like I don't know, like just put them out of their element before they have the gun and see what happens, or just be like
right after you hand them the like unloaded gun, you do a quick like boo.
Yeah, just something like a quick like vibe check on people, because I think like the survey that I had to fill out was like, are you crazy, yes or no? It's
literally like, that well, I guess not literally, but yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
And I was like, no. Can I have my gun now? Like
it's not like I'm gonna lie on this.
Right.
No.
Right.
Would you ever shoot anybody? No.
Nah.
That's crazy. So other than guns, you also enjoy a little bit of marijuana every so often.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a stoner or nah?
I think other people, yeah.
I see you wearing all the green.
Green's my favorite color, regardless of my consumption of marijuana. But no, yeah, we have a good relationship. I definitely like. I take a medication during the day that reduces my appetite a lot, and eating is one of like my pleasures. Like I love food. Food is like hugely important to me. I used to want to be a chef, and so weed, I do use it in part like medicinally to bring back that appetite. It's hard for me to eat without its help because otherwise I just like literally have no appetite. And so it's been really helpful for that. But it's also just like, yeah, I definitely use it recreationally, and I think it's a lot. Do I think it's harmless? No. Do I think it's overall a lot less harmful than people who use alcohol just as much? Like yeah, I do. I think it's like a safer thing. But I don't knock alcohol. I like alcohol too. I just don't really drink it as much anymore.
I guess that's good. Do you ever use marijuana to help you write any of your jokes at all?
There are strains that I've found, like more like sativa heavy ones, that like I get like a really fun like creative buzz going, and I'll like just sit down on the floor and write a bunch. But I don't need it to write. But yeah, when it comes, I go with it. Yeah,
it's a little. I guess it helps a little bit.
Helps a little bit. If the faucet's not really like coming out.
Do you ever get a little high before going on stage?
Actually, no. So that's a big thing for me. I don't think I perform as well high. I did it once a couple times, like at an open mic, just to see, and I was like, "Yep, definitely not. It does not help my performance."
What's my next joke, guys?
It really like blanks your mind. It blanks my mind, and it doesn't let me be as like animated. Like I'm much more I know I come across as like decently monotone even now, but if I smoke before a set, it's so much worse.
And my next joke is
I'm just not as like quick, and but I do enjoy either nothing or like 1-2 drinks maximum before a set, and then afterwards I'll smoke with the comics. I'll have a couple drinks, whatever. I just prefer to like be mostly present.
Yeah, I get that a lot. What's like the 5 minutes before you go on stage like do you meditate? Do you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you have a couple drinks? Like what's that like?
So I usually have some deep breathing going on. In the beginning it was like my heart would beat really 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 loud and fast right before going on, and I'd have to take like steadying breaths. And now it's a lot more comfortable. I'll usually take like, I probably won't be talking to anyone in my final like 2 minutes before going up. I'm more just like in my head, like kind of maybe running through the jokes I want to touch on, especially if I'm putting anything new, like sandwiching anything new in between bits that I'm doing. I'm like, okay, reminding myself of where I want to go with that. And then 5 seconds before, I'm just like, all right, let's do this. Like it's fun. And I'm lucky enough to have frequent enough shows that it's not a lot of nerves anymore. Like it's just kind of like repetition. Yeah.
You don't get nervous anymore. It's just like, okay, this I'm
Not
doing
as
this
much.
right now.
Not as much, which is great because I used to. my friends were in town visiting the first time I ever had a show. Like my first show ever, they were in town, and we were supposed to have plans during the day and then have the show at night. I could not do anything that day. I was pacing.
No.
I was like, memorizing everything. I was like, I can't. I don't know how to. And they were just like, I really hope you get better at this because this is. We know it's your first show, but this is not sustainable. Like you can't keep doing this. And I was like, you're right. And now I'm much better. Yeah.
You can't have a mental breakdown before every show. That would deteriorate your brain.
Literally. And this was at 11 a.m. We had 8 hours until the show. They were like, Bronwyn,
Jesus.
we cannot watch you do this for 8 hours. We have to go do something. I'm like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, I remember I do music, so I remember getting like super nervous before every show, like to the point where like sweat would be like going down.
It's
and
intense.
for about like the first 5 minutes, like the first song maybe, I'm just like, oh shit. But then afterwards it's like, okay, like I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah.
Like everything comes out. How do you decompress after a show? Like,
Ooh, this one was tough because, okay, I do this really annoying thing and I can't help it. And I'm sorry, everyone who's ever been annoyed by it. Multiple people have told me it's weird. After I do well on a show, which is luckily a lot of the time, I'll have a glow. Like I just kind of like sit there like an idiot with like a huge smile and I'm just like beaming
yes.
for like 2 hours.
just taking it all in.
Yeah. Most people glow for like 5 minutes. It goes on for a long time for me to the point where Elaine Golden is like a really, really super funny comic, and she's so funny. She saw me glowing after a set one time, I think at Zany's Rosemont, and she was like, "What's going on with your face?" And I was like, "Oh, I just do that." And she's like, "Oh, okay," because I just look like a freaking idiot. I'm just sitting in the corner like, "Life's amazing." Oh,
yeah.
so cool. I'm working on like reducing the glow duration, but
Nah, I don't think so. I feel like you should take it all in for as long as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially like, I don't know about you, but I have like a day job. So after performing, the next day I have to go back to my day job, and I'm just like,
Yes.
So I definitely try to take in all the glow as much as possible.
For sure. I mean, it's like, it's a very special feeling. And it's also like at its core, it's an energy exchange, right? Because the audience and the hosts will say this for most shows of like, the comics are going to give you what you give the comics, right? And the audience is feeding you that energy. If you're having a good set, you are giving them laughs, and that is like, you're literally absorbing it into yourself, into your body. And like, for me, it's important to find a way after the show to release that in some way. Like maybe I take a walk with a friend, you know, near the lake or something. Maybe I'll go play some video, like some activity.
Go shoot my gun.
Yeah. Release all that energy. No, but that's important. Otherwise, I'm just gonna lay in bed and stare at the ceiling and be like, "Wow, comedy's amazing."
We did this.
Yeah.
How do you balance like a 9 to 5 with like your comedy stuff?
It's tricky, but I will say that I think my experience seeing friends of mine who are kind of like doing full-time, like not having a 9 to 5, it's tricky both ways. It's tricky to not have that dependable income and like security, but it's also tricky to find time to do comedy when you're like devoting yourself to like actually working like a 9 to 5. So for me, I'm choosing the like latter right now in terms of difficulty. I feel like I just want to save up some, and you know, you never know if you're going to be able to pursue comedy like in a full-time way ever. That's the dream, obviously, but in the meantime, I'm trying to do as many shows as I can, as many things as I can, while also, I've been told by a lot of comics of like, keep your day job as long as possible, you know, because it's a big change whenever that happens, and I'm nowhere near needing to do that yet, or in the position to do that. I'm only still a year in, so.
A year in. I mean, you've been doing like some pretty cool stuff for like being just like a year in.
Yeah.
What's like some advice you would give a newer comic coming into the scene?
Totally. This one I say a lot to people because it's something that I did. So I used to think when I started out, oh, well, I'm too nervous to go up at the open mic, so I'm just going to like go and attend this open mic. I'm going to go watch and I'll be getting something out of that experience. And I try to tell people all the time that is a waste of time ultimately.
Oh, shit.
Ultimately, you want to be getting that stage time in. If you're going and
Even if
spending
you
time
suck?
at an open mic, it doesn't, because truly no one cares about you. And I'm in the most freeing way
like
possible.
yeah.
No one cares about you. They're all in their own heads. You can go bomb it doesn't matter. No one's gonna like
After
think
5
about
minutes,
it.
no one's gonna care anymore.
Literally, no
There's
one
another
cares.
comment going on anyways.
They might have not even been listening to you.
It's funny you say that because I've had similar thoughts of like maybe I'm interviewing so many comics. I'm like, I have a few funny stories to say. Maybe I'll do that. And like I always attend the Coles. Have you ever been to Coles?
Yeah,
the open
yeah.
mic there
I
on
like Coles.
Wednesdays. Yeah, I'm probably gonna hit there after
Me
this.
too. I'm literally going there. Right
But
after this.
I go and watch all the time, and I'm like, man, I could tell a funny story like this. I can make some people laugh like that. And it's funny that you say that. You're just like, fuck that shit. Like, just go on there, even if you fucking suck.
Well, okay, yes, but I'm not trying to be harsh about it. I think it's like it comes from a place of me getting really frustrated at myself for spending so much time watching when I could have been getting better. The fact is, you're not going to get better by watching. And if you're trying to get better, the only way to do that is by doing it. And I say this because I was in a women's only comedy class, and that's how I kept myself accountable. In like April last year, I was doing open mics and also going to that class, and I think women, and I'm not trying to make too many generalizations about gender, but like I think women are a little bit more likely to do that of like, oh, I'm going to attend this open mic. And I think we're a little reluctant to take up that space. I think it's a little bit harder in my experience and speaking to my friends who are women to be like, I have what it takes. I'm going to do it. But then I swear, go to one open mic and sit and watch how many unfunny men go up one after the other and have no reason to think they should be up there. And all power to you. Men and women should both do things that they're not necessarily good at yet. It's a good thing. But like, go and watch and realize you got to do it. Like, there are so many people who have no talent, and that's fine, but they're doing it anyway. So do you want the people with no talent who are doing it anyway to get further than you? No, that should piss you off. If you have some talent, go use it and go do it because other people are surpassing you and you haven't even started.
You hear that, ladies? Be pissed off at me.
But like, if you need inspiration, if you've been thinking about going and trying comedy and you're a woman and you're like, I just want to like be in the back and like absorb it until I feel like I'm ready. I promise you, if you actually have a love for it and you find that you want to keep doing it, you will be kicking yourself for not doing it those times that you were waiting in the background. So just start doing it because you can't get good until you start.
No, I definitely feel that. There's been so many times where I've been to like not just the Coles open mic, but a bunch of other different like shows or open mics, and I'm just like, I could probably say something like that. Like I had an idea the other day. It was like, well,
Yeah.
I work the service industry, and I was gonna write it. I haven't written anything yet, but I was gonna write a joke relating to like, oh yeah, so I'm a musician, which means tomorrow I'm gonna be, at my service industry job or something like that. I don't know, but I
think service industry experience builds character for sure. I did like busser, server, bartender,
for sure.
all that. And it's just like, you kind of need to know what it feels like to drop a plate full of food in front of a room of people.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like if you're able to get past that,
If you can
going
get past
up
that,
and open mic is like, I'm not dropping shit. I'm just talking for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I did that at a country club. I worked at a country club. I dropped a plate full of food.
No.
And I like went to the basement. I was crying, and the manager came down and he was like, "Hey, you're still on the clock. Like, get up
Stop
there.
grind.
Like, I feel sympathy for you kind of as a human, but like, get your ass up there." And I was like, all right, you know what? That's life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could talk to your past self, your younger self, what's like a piece of advice that you would give your younger self going into comedy?
Ooh. Get better at telling when people have bad intentions, because I do struggle with like, I'm a pretty blunt, honest, straightforward person. I don't really do like fake stuff. Like, if I don't like someone, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, it's so great to see you.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
good.
when people do that and their actions don't align with how they feel about me or their intentions, it's really hard for me to tell, because I'm just going to take what you say at face value. I'm just going to believe you and think that you're being honest, because that's how I operate. So I'm not going to put energy into like being like, what do they actually think? Like, so I get duped sometimes by like thinking someone is a decent like person because they say like nice things. So I've had to develop more of a like sense of maybe if someone's not being like completely honest with me, I'd say like be less trusting in the beginning.
Any examples of that? Maybe like some promoter like booking you for a show or something. Maybe like a friend or something that was like fake to you.
Like Yeah, kind of not as specific, but it's just like there's a lot of, I think as a woman in this industry, you have like kind of a different experience than like men do entering it, in that I think a lot of men assume that that they want something additional, like outside of professional things with you, right? Like,
I see.
And like
yeah.
they expect you to think that, but no, we're in this, like I'm expecting you to treat me like a comic.
Professionally, yeah.
So I'm not even thinking about that. Like the fact that you expect me to like read between and like under, I'm like, no, dude, like I'm here to do this. I'm sorry if you got like something mixed up, but I really do resent sometimes that sometimes it just like gets in the way in a way of like I think men who are who don't have as many like female friends, like platonic female friends, or maybe didn't have like sisters or like relationships with women that didn't center around sex. I think it's hard for them sometimes to separate that, and their brain just goes like, "Oh, woman!" Like, and it's frustrating.
Me, big ape. There's
Right.
woman.
and they're just like, I don't know what to do. Like, you're a woman and you're talking to me and you're a woman. And I'm like, okay, yes, let's get caught up here, right?
It's 2026, guys.
It's
Come on,
2026.
y'all.
I really do believe you should be able to separate things. And honestly, if you want to boil it down to like, it's messy. Like we're in a like professional environment. We're talking about like shows and money being exchanged and like performing for an audience that is paying. The fact that like they are so quick to make it messy is very jarring, because it's just like, why would you want, this is not.
How do you deal with people like that like, you know, they're talking to you for a specific reason but then ended up making messy, you know what I mean? Like
I'm lucky
that like?
enough that it hasn't happened too much, because I think hopefully the way that I've like marketed myself and branded and like kind of my presence in I want to present as like a hard worker who's here to like put on a good show. I really enjoy myself on stage. I have a lot of fun. I think like in most of my clips I'm smiling like all the it's a really, really positive, good time that I have and I want to give to people. And so I think in the beginning I probably struggled with it a little bit more, but now that I've kind of, I'd say, built a little bit of a reputation of like, you know, good at what she does, she's gonna come through, she's timely, like all this stuff, people are like fucking with me less. But in the beginning, before I had that, it was just like, oh, great, yeah, okay.
Really, that's interesting. Like, so you're telling me that like people see that, oh, she's coming to do her professional work, she's on time, they're like, oh, I don't want to deal with that?
Yeah, I think I don't really know, right? Because I don't know inside like their heads or whatever, but I think I've just some people have told me I'm intimidating, but I can't help that I have an eyebrow scar.
I was scared of you when you walked in.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm joking.
it's like people are like, oh wow, like the fact that you like shave your eyebrow like that means you mean business. I'm like, I don't shave it. That's a scar. Like it's just a chunk of missing hair from when I was 2 years old. I like.
Are you comfortable telling that story at all?
Oh yeah. It's really not that cool or dramatic. I just was like 2 years old, and I think I was climbing on like stairs that didn't have carpeting. It was just like wooden. I just boom, just cut open my face. And you might be wondering, oh, but like, why does it heal like that if you had like stitches? Well, this is what happens when you don't have stitches. This is what happens when your parents just hope that it heals right.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm just the first child. I don't think you're supposed to just like wing it.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to take me to the hospital. They did have, what's crazy is they told me this, right? They told me this, and they could have kept this to themselves and had a better alibi, but they said they had dinner reservations, and I did this right as like the babysitter had just gotten there to take care of me while they had dinner, and they went and left me with her and went to dinner anyway. Like they like just left this bleeding broken baby with the fucking 15-year-old, and they were like, well, see you in a couple hours.
Let the babysitter figure that one out.
Yeah. And I'm like,
that's insane.
I'm like, do you know how long it had been from like that incident, right? Couldn't talk, right? I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was the age where I could understand and you could tell me the story, you had to have come up with a better story by that point, right? You sound so bad in that story. why did you give me the version where you sound like the most negligent parents ever? Like and then they get mad at me because I tell the story back to them. And they're like, you make it sound so negligent. I'm like, this is the story you could have changed this. You were the only narrators. You could have made yourself sound better. I don't know why you told me the truth, because I just kind of like am resentful now, but it's fine. It looks cool. I changed my opinion about it very quickly because there was this actor who lived in Ithaca. His name was John Hertzler, and he played like a Klingon in Deep Space Nine, like the Star Trek series. He was really cool. He had like a lot of like movie memorabilia around his house. I was friends with his daughter, and he ran into me at like a festival one time. I was working the booth at a festival, and previously every day I had filled in my eyebrow scar with like a brown pencil. Before school, like you would never see me without this filled in. And I'd forgotten to do it that day. And he walked up and he was like, oh, you have an eyebrow scar? That is so cool. And I was like,
gangster.
It is so cool. The coolest person in my town just told me that my scar is cool. I am on cloud 9. So then it changed my opinion of it forever, because I was like, I don't care what anyone says. It's cool.
Yeah, no, the oldest kid always gets the worst of the stick. I think
it's crazy.
I swallowed a penny one time, and instead of like taking me to like the hospital or whatever, my parents decided to just do like a Heimlich maneuver and try to get it out that way. And then I was like small enough where they were just like, maybe if we hang him upside down, it'll like fall or something.
Oh, no. Did it work? Did it come out?
It came. I mean, I'm here.
Yeah, which end though?
Yeah, right. Oh man. Speaking of parents, when you told your parents that you wanted to be a comedian, how did they take that?
I think so. I'm pretty close to my parents, and I think I made the mistake of involving them really heavily in the beginning stages of doing comedy. So like when you're first doing comedy, you're doing a lot of open mics, right? And I would like feel really good. Like let's say I had a decent set at an open mic, which is never going to be amazing sounding to someone like my parents always watch like Netflix specials. Like they're used to like quality comedy that's been honed and honed and honed by like people who've been doing it like 10, 15 plus years. So then when I send them like the clips of like me doing an open mic and getting like, I don't know, maybe 17 laughs over the course of like 4 minutes, it just didn't hit the same for them. Like my dad would give me like constructive criticism and be like, I feel like there was a lot of gaps or there weren't laughs. I'm like, Dad, I know, but we're talking about, you're comparing apples to oranges at this point, right? Like get rid of everything you think you know about what someone should look and sound like as a comedian, and like realize I've been doing this for 6 weeks.
Yeah, compared to the 15 years that like Dave Chappelle's been doing it.
So I kind of stopped, and then I stopped like involving them as much. And then now I just kind of like, I just send them like a show clip once in a while if it was a really good one or something. Because it just, I realized I didn't need that level of like, I think the only person who needed to be watching and listening and working on the stuff based on the open mic was me, right? Like it just, that's the rough draft stuff that I mean,
What do you think like the overall like generalization that people think about comedy is right now? Like, do you think it's like something like that's like really hot right now? Or was it like better before back in the day?
I think it's changing. Because there's so many. People have talked about this at length, but like, there's almost no barrier to entry, and I mean that's true in general. Of like, you can just sign up for an open mic and you're doing comedy. But like nowadays, making it kind of involves a lot more self-promotion, and then that seems to be the way that like, I don't know, it's there used to be other avenues of being able to make a living doing comedy related things, right? Like you could do like talk show host things, you could like go and I don't know, just I don't really have a lot of good examples of that, but I know it's different now, and social media is changing that a lot. But I think people like comedy. I think people maybe think that a lot more crowd work happens than does in a typical comedy show, because that's like, you're incentivized to post things like crowd work and stand-up adjacent things because you don't want to burn through your entire like set, right? But that also gives people the impression that there's a lot of crowd participation, and I think that that's where some heckling comes from, because people see all these clips and it's like, well, actually you're not really like part of it unless the comedian like invites you to like become a part of it.
Wait, so you're telling me that comedy shows aren't like the videos that Matt Rife posts?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I've been getting this wrong idea this whole time. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, and I think some groups have definitely been turned off from the like popular view of what comedy might be nowadays. Like I just did the show at the Port in Baltimore, and one of the audience members I was talking to afterwards, we were just chilling, grabbing a beer, and they were like, I found it really refreshing. Like I've never really enjoyed live comedy before because I feel like it's a bunch of men just being like, like this story about like a woman I was hooking at, like women, like that was their impression of what comedy was. And they were like, so it was really like, cool. I liked your stuff. I liked this other person's stuff. Like it just reminded me that there's other things going on with comedy. So I think some people who don't consume it as much in a live format, like actually in person, might have a little bit of a different idea, or maybe have just had bad experiences too. I think that there's a lot of, there's something for everyone, and there's a lot for not you, if that makes sense. Like whatever you're looking for, you can find stuff you're not gonna like.
I'm probably gonna find more of the stuff that I'm not looking for compared to the stuff that I'm actually looking for. Is what?
Yeah, but it's worth finding, because if you like anything comedy related, it's probably worth finding some people that you really like, because there's something really exciting about finding someone that hasn't quite like blown up yet, you know, and like you might be able to catch them for not too much money, like when they come through a city, because like really good comics, even if they aren't famous, are like often doing like mini tours.
They're
or
still
just,
funny.
Yeah. And it's cool to be able to like be like, hey, I liked that person before, like they went on the Tonight Show or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What would you say is like your idea of making it in comedy? Everybody has different opinions, but what's yours?
I think for me, if I could pay all my bills solely through comedy, that would be making it. Like as in like comedy is my full-time job. That's what I pay like taxes for, and like I'm able to support myself on that. That's crazy. Like because that is so unattainable for like most people. Like that's a dream.
So like 1% of comedians make it or something like that.
Yeah.
And I know I said like a lot of people have like different opinions of what making it is, but for the most part, a lot of people have that exact same opinion as well. It's like, oh, if I can just do this for a living, pay my bills on this, pay my taxes on this, and do nothing else, like that to them is making it. And I feel like that's fucking
the dream.
Yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't mean that I won't feel that way. Like if something like I do think that's not the only marker, and I think there's people that if I ever like opened for or like met or like had like there's gonna be that sensation of like, oh wow, I've made it like multiple times before I even get to that point.
Yeah. How has like social media changed the way like comedians act now? Like, cause I always compare a lot of things to like music. Like back in the day, you would have to like go from like town to town, play a bunch of shows, and then people will pick up on it. You'll get booked more. But now it's just like making the best social media presence, and then you'll get booked. Like, how has that affected you?
I think the way I did it, and the way I probably recommend most people doing it, is like focus on the craft first, and like go to like do the reps, go to open mics, get your material good, like get that practice in, and then like kind of use social media once you've got the foundation of like knowing that you can like do this and like build on it as a way to push yourself into more and more spaces and more shows. I think that if you start with the social media and like build that up and still not even have a handle on the basics of like what you're doing, I just think that's not necessarily the same. Like, it's not like a winning formula. It's just like, are you doing it for the, because I think the people who are the best and the people who I want to see the most are the people who do it for the love of comedy. Like you have to love it and not. Okay, I don't know if this is controversial. I don't think you should be doing this to get famous. I think there's ways to get famous that are way easier, and I think that like it's like so many other things. Like you really have to love it if you have any chance of like getting through all the BS that comes along with it and sticking with it. If you want to get famous, I don't know, take your clothes off, do something like that's like quicker.
Follow me on my OnlyFans.
This is a long, tricky road to fame if this is what like the point of it is for you. And I don't know, maybe I'm like pretentious, I think we can smell it. I think people who are serious about it can tell when someone isn't, and I think that you kind of seem like a joke to people. And sorry, not sorry. Sorry.
I feel like the people that are doing it just to get famous get weeded out almost.
You would hope.
But
if you're good at social media, that's a skill as well. You know, like
yeah.
I will not lie. I am okay at social media, but like some people have like a real knack for marketing themselves and doing that part really well. And I admire them for it. I think it's a skill. I just think that, I'm a little bit of a pretentious asshole about it. I think you should really love it, and I think you should love every single stupid part of it. I think you should love the late nights. I think you should love how a room could decide that they hate you and you're the least funny person they've ever heard in their life. And I think you should go through phases where you think, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, you know, you have to take all of it because that's what it's all about. You just keep coming back to it because it's a harmful addiction that is ruining your life and also brings you all the joy and pleasure that you could ever want. Okay, that's the deal with the devil. That's what it is. And if you don't think that way, then I don't want to be friends with you.
You gotta sell your soul, and then the horned man is gonna come and take your firstborn. It's
just, and it makes you like you're not a normal person, right? Like as soon as you like really get into it and you're like obsessed with it and you're like I care about the craft and all of that, like at least for me it became hard. Like it took the place of so many other things. I can't have a normal relationship with with like a normal person because unfortunately comedy is going to be like come before them. I've told people like I will put comedy before you. You are not my priority. I'm sorry. You are going to be a mistress because comedy is my one true love. And like it takes a. That's why I really admire couples of a comic and a non-comic because I think the non-comic has to be so strong and secure in like what they know they're signing up for because you are always going to like in some ways be taking second place to like that thing. That's why like it's been kind of nice. I'm like dating a comic and there's just that understanding, right? That like we know what we're both doing. We know like the priority. So because I think it's a little unfair to like a regular person to be like you're not going to be number one.
Yeah, I get that a lot. You know, like not just comedy, but like most people that perform. You know, late nights, stuff like that. Like, you're not always going to be there on the weekend. Maybe you got to travel, you know, a couple hours out and you won't have time for your person or whatever. Yeah. Have you ever dated like a non-comic and how does that compare to like dating a comic?
Yeah, I actually, since starting comedy, I have not had any significant relationship with someone who wasn't a comic. Every time I've tried, I get just like overwhelmed with the fact that I have to like explain this lifestyle to someone else. And like it sounds crazy. It sounds like someone's like, hey, I want to hang out, and I'm like, actually sorry, I want to go spend 3 hours in this room full of like kind of gross people. No, I'm not going to do a good set. I'm going to do like the worst 4 minutes I've done in like a month. I'm going to love it. And I'm going to come home and like probably just like go into my room and like write more because I didn't do well. You know what I mean? Like, and then someone's like, well, I'd really just prefer we hang out. And it's like, actually, no, I really do want to do that other thing more.
I want to go perform. Sorry, y'all.
It's like, so...
Yeah, no, it's tricky. Like, just human relationships in general are just like so tricky. You know what I mean?
They are tricky, and it's all about balance. But it's also like, and I think it's funny because I'm answering these questions, right? And I've done kind of other interviews and things like that, and I know already that looking back, if I go fast forward 2-3 years and I look back on like the stuff I was saying in my second year of comedy, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, that bitch knew nothing. Like she didn't know what she was talking about. All this like stuff. It's like, but I can only speak to what I'm experiencing now, and like who knows if that's going to be outdated by the time I have a little bit more experience under my belt. But for now, I do think that like if like year 1 and year 2, you have to like go for it with everything you have, almost. At least for me, I think I need to, because that's when you're figuring out where it's going to fit into your life. Like, is comedy going to be the thing that you're like putting everything into, or is it going to be like a side thing that you just kind of do like once in a while? For me, it's kind of all I want to do right now, and I'm just gonna keep like laying into it hard.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, no, same. It's hard for a person in the entertainment industry to be with somebody that has like a regular 9 to 5. You know what I mean? For all the reasons that we've said before. Yeah, no, I totally agree on that. People are fucking wild. Is there like any is there any venues in Chicago that you said like the Den Theater is a venue you've wanted to play at before? Is there any other like theaters in Chicago that you're like, oh, I really want to go perform there? Maybe other venues or anything?
Yeah, I've done like one show. I did One Liner Madness when it came through Chicago at the IO Theater. I would love to do IO again. I know Babs Comedy Club is a big one that I would love to do. Yeah, there's just like, I mean, every venue I haven't done or have done, I just want to do more of. What I really like recently is that if you got a hot room, right? Like let's say the first couple comics on the lineup have been doing great and you're coming up and the room's hot, you know, the audience has been loving it. That feels so good to like jump in there and give a great set on top of that and just keep that energy going. Always feels good. But what I've also really enjoyed recently is like, let's say it's not such a hot room. Like maybe the last comic kind of left it off on a weird note. Maybe the audience hasn't warmed up it for anyone yet. I love that because recently I've been the one to like get them to warm up and get them like going. And there's something like even more gratifying about that in a way of just like, yeah, I don't need a hot room. I can bring them there, you know, like, and you can, audiences like really, they're fun. I've had success with like reminding them not to be like tight asses a little bit. Like sometimes I'll be like, guys, didn't you like buy tickets to a comedy show? What are we doing here? Like you got to loosen up a little bit, and they can respond well to that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of my biggest things is like if you're gonna go to a comedy show, know what you're getting yourself into. Know that maybe, you know, there's gonna be things said that, hey, not exactly comfortable, but hey, it's, you know, for comedy, you know what I mean?
My friend Ray Roberts, he's a comic buddy of mine, and we like we'll go on walks a lot and talk about like comedy stuff. I get a lot of good insights from him because he's been doing it like 10 plus years. And yeah, we talk all the time about like where you can play with the audience a little bit, and like that is the kind of, I'd say, level 2 of like, in the beginning, once I had my 5-minute set that I knew worked with most audiences from that Lincoln Lodge class, I was like, okay, that means when I get booked on a show, I go and I do my set and I've memorized my set and I know that like the laughs will happen here, here, and here. That's like level 1, right? Level 2 is, are you actually alive and present on stage while you're telling that enough that you can respond to the energy of the like room, of the audience? Can you like riff off of something? Can you like add something? Like, I think for my first 10 shows, I'll say I was I was blacked out on stage. Like I was there performing, but I would come off and not remember what had just happened. You know what I mean? Like, and I was
like robot,
sober, but like,
I mean?
yeah, fully. I was just kind of like going through the motions almost. And then you start to be like, oh, I need to be like there. Like I can't just like kind of fast forward this time while I'm up there. Like there's like something else going on here. So that's been also really fun of just like, he gets on me because for a while I was like writing kind of the list in shorthand of the jokes that I would do before every show, and it'd be like, he would look at my notebook and be like, why are you writing that down? Like, you know, or you should know. He does this thing that like makes me pause and think, because he's like you should be able to just go up there and do your time and like figure out what jokes you're saying in the moment. And he's right. I mean, like, that's where he's like, don't you want to be that? Don't you want to get to that point of like, why are you writing down that? And he's like, I better not see you writing on your hand. I'm like, okay, sorry. Because it's just like, you want to have that crutch in a way, but you also shouldn't have to.
Yeah,
if,
like you should know your stuff. It's
Yeah.
like what I say in like the band universe, like practice how you play type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be like slowing down in your practice and then, oh, it's time to perform and stuff like that.
So,
have you ever done like those like roast battles in Chicago?
yeah, I've done 5 so far. I've done 5 roast battles. I really like them because they force you to, like, you know, they're called homework shows or whatever. You have to sit down and write completely new jokes for this specific person, right? And what I really like about it is that it's all about putting on a good show. At the end of the day, like it still is the same kind of goal, which is have the audience have a lot of fun, and you can go so many different directions with the roasts. I really, really like doing them. I think that they're very intimidating. I think that I get more nervous before roast than almost anything else because it's so dynamic. You don't know what the other person's going to say. My first couple of roasts were tricky because I was so concerned with like getting my actual roasts out that I had written that I was not able to like have comebacks to theirs. Like I wasn't present enough to be able to be like, oh yeah, da 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 da, and just like do it off the cuff. But then I started to get comfortable, and now I feel more comfortable doing that.
Would you say you're like kind of good at doing roast battles now? Ish.
Good is a funny. I think that my writing is surprising and unconventional. I think I have good writing. I think my delivery is getting better every time. So I'd say I'm decent, and I'm trying to get good.
Yeah, we had Hannah Belmont on here a couple of months ago, and asking her about the roast battles and stuff. We asked her to roast me and my co-host Jack. Would it be kind of weird if I asked you to roast me real quick, just one quick, just to see what you got? I'm testing your chops here.
Can I?
You can say whatever you want. I'm not gonna get offended.
Well, how about you don't know when it's gonna come? Because I'm gonna work on one as we talk for a little bit more, and then I'll just say it. I don't know
works.
Okay, cool.
It makes for a great clip. Now, speaking of roast battles, if you had to roast like one comedian, or famous or not famous, who would it be?
That's hard. Well, okay, that the obvious answer is Nikki, like because Nikki Glaser is like she kind of became really well known because of like the Comedy Central roast that she did, and so that would be just really cool to do. Yeah,
Nikki Glaser would be your one. That's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of celebrities, do you have like a celebrity crush? What was your first celebrity crush? Everybody has celebrity crushes.
First celebrity crush. Ooh, that's hard. There's so many. I don't know, like Steve Buscemi from Spy Kids 2, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, he's so philosophical, and I was like, why am I feeling this way about this scientist? Because he has that line where you're just like, because he's like, what does he say? He's like, do you think that God remains in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created? And it's like, Steve Buscemi, what?
Mind blown.
Excuse me? No, yeah.
My favorite characters from Spy Kids were the thumb people. Remember those
thumbs? Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Why did the CGI look not that bad?
It probably
looked pretty good.
Busted out a couple millions to do that.
I love Spy Kids.
Yeah. Nowadays with like AI, I can generate an entire fucking hour movie.
Yeah, but is it good?
Probably not.
No.
What do you think about like AI and like how it's, I'm not going to say taking over, but a lot of people are using it to like, make movies, write their jokes, make music for them. What do you think about that?
I think it's hack shit. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I think AI's slop. I think that if you're using it for creative stuff. So here's, if you want a real answer. I think that human creativity and human ability to create art is one of the most astounding things about our species. I think it's what differentiates us from like everything else. Like I think what we create, what we write, what we do, like art is human nature, and that is what we do. Why the hell would we want a robot thing that just like basically steals, because that's how it's learning, right? It's just stealing all this like art and churning and spitting out some bullshit that's like just a watered down version of what it consumed. It's like, no, robots, leave the art to the humans. Robots should be doing jobs that we don't want to do, tasks that are dangerous for humans to do, that we can send robots to do, and like figuring out math stuff, okay? Leave the art to the humans. I think, so there was this one time I got really heated because this person came over to where I was sitting and they were like, do you want some stickers? I made some stickers. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And she like dumped out some stickers. And I was looking at it, I'm like, what is this? You know, I couldn't figure out what it was of. And she was like, oh, like I like typed into AI and I like created all of these images and I made stickers. I'm like, you made junk. What are you talking about? You made trash. You literally like spit out a bunch of trash and then created more trash by putting the trash on a sticker so that you can stick the trash to. I'm like, not to get it's so
fuck you AI.
like regardless of the fact that it uses fresh drinking water and renders it undrinkable, which is not a good thing for any of us. I don't know about you. I like showers. You have a lot of hair. It looks like you like showers.
No, I hate showers. I'm a stinky boy.
Well, okay. I just think it's like if you put aside all the environmental stuff, which is bad enough that it's like bad for the environment, it's just shitty stuff. I have not seen a single creative thing that AI has generated that I've been like, well, that's cooler than what a human. No, I've never ever felt that. And I think going back to like that idea of like someone using AI for their jokes, sure, if you want to, but like I also like to be able to sleep at night. Like, you know what I mean? If you're doing that and you're like, I'm succeeding, I'm like da 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 da, it's like, oh my god, you suck. Like seriously, you suck. If you can't write jokes, that's fine. There's other things you can do. You can go enjoy comedy. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I'm very, very passionate about this. I think it's like one of the like lamest things on the planet.
AI,
yeah.
You don't fear AI is going to come and take over your job or anything? Because like, I know like if I upload a picture of myself and be like, put myself in this position and write a whole 5-minute comedy set, it'll generate a video of like me doing like a, I guess not funny comedy set. You don't think that?
But for what? Like, what's the point of that? Like what? You've generated it. Okay.
To get famous, you know?
Will you get famous from that? Are you gonna shoot up and just like be asked to come on the Fallon like show immediately because of some 5-minute generated clip? Like it's like, what are we doing here? You know? I don't know.
If you do enough of those, maybe.
Okay, and then like you like. Does that feel good? So I'll liken it to this, right? I play trivia with friends sometimes. And bar trivia is sometimes played on your phone or sometimes it's played on paper. But either way, a constant of bar trivia is you do not use your phone to cheat.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of trivia is that it's what you know in your head. Everyone knows you could look it up. So without fail, every time I go to trivia, some fucking table, right, has someone that's like cheating and is looking up the answers. And it's like, dude, it's not a cheat. Like everyone knows you could look it up. That's the whole point.
We could all look it
have
up right
Google.
now. Yeah.
It's the game that we're playing is who can. So it's the same thing with comedy and AI, right? I think it's like a similar thing where, yeah, everyone knows you could like fake your way into maybe like and like maybe generate a clip that's like funny enough to get you a show or something. But it's like, what are we doing it for? Are you trying to be a comedian? Because that's not how you become a comedian, and that's not how you get respect. That's not how you get better. It's just like everyone knows you could, but why are you here? That's like my point.
That makes sense. No, I definitely feel the same way about like the TikTok musicians and stuff like that, where it's all like, yeah, you have like a big online presence maybe, but like go to like a live show, how many people are actually going to show up? Probably not that many, stuff like that, you know?
And like, isn't the whole point, like like selfishly, right? Part of the reason I love doing this is I love the feeling of making people laugh through my talent, my pen, my performance, right? That is a good feeling. That's part of why you're doing it. If you didn't have any part of that, if like all you did was type in a prompt and that's what you have to show for yourself and you don't have any like talent or like whatever that you got in it, why do you even feel? Do you feel good? Like, are you enjoying yourself? Because it's just like, it seems pointless to me.
A little bit. I'm trying, guys. I'm just kidding.
I just like, I don't know. I'm passionate about it because I have friends who are creatives in the industry and they're getting pushed. Like AI should not, in my opinion, be coming into creative spaces at all. I think it doesn't belong there. If only, like maybe for like a tool to be used by creatives for like I can't think of a use cases. I don't use AI, but like I just think and also you talked about how like it's coming for people's jobs. It's coming for people's real jobs too, and I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I've failed to understand this whole time where like companies I feel like they're saying the quiet part out loud, and it's a really weird thing where they're like, hey everyone, AI is we were able to cut costs by like eliminating thousands of jobs and AI's taking them out. I'm like, why are you telling us this? That's not why would we be excited about that?
Yeah.
How would we be excited about that? And do you have a plan for the fact that there's about to be like so many thousands or millions of unemployed people? Like, what are they supposed to do? We don't have universal basic income.
Yeah.
And AI just seems poised to take on all of these. So what's the plan, guys? Because when you have millions of people who can't have a job and they have nothing to lose, that's dangerous. It gets really feisty really fast when people can't afford bread.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just kind of like weird. I guess it's very weird to me to have them like patting themselves on the back for that, because it seems to me there's an elephant in the room, which is what are we supposed to do with all these people who no longer have a job, because that's what AI seems to be doing. And you don't have an economy if people aren't spending money, and if people don't have money to spend, they're not going to spend it.
Yeah. No, that's kind of a fear that I've had a little bit, just like robots taking over all our jobs and stuff, because it's already happening. You know what I mean? Like you can hire an AI, or not hire, you can download an AI to like write code for you and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then, you know, big companies like Google are like using that to their advantage. Like, all right, we're going to fire hundreds of people. We're going to download this AI thing. It's a little scary, especially like that, plus added to like the nature of how the world is right now with all this fucking bullshit. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. All these things on the news and whatnot. Fucking
yeah. I guess like I think the AI stuff is especially offensive to hear about everyone talking, because to me it's like I thought we knew that there were like actual problems that need to be solved that humans are facing. You know what I mean? Like we know today that like it's really hard for people of the younger generations to buy a house, for example, right?
For sure, yeah.
We know that inflation is crazy high. We know that wages have been stagnant. We know that schools could use a lot more funding, like public schools.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
yeah. After school programs,
so many things.
They like shut down like so many after school programs from when I was going to school to now.
Yeah.
I have a little sister. She's 13 years old, and there's like almost no after school programs that she can do right now. And I'm just like, what the, like when I was in school, you know, I was joining like comedy club, I was joining like music clubs and stuff like that. I was doing like other clubs here and there, and now there's none of that.
Enrichment, right? Like developing like skills or like just passions or like interests. Like we can, I think I'll go on a limb and say I think 80% of people can agree on like core problems that like society is facing that like should be addressed with like funding or just a different like something, right? And so when I hear companies go like, well, in our effort to solve society's problems, we have decided to fire thousands of people and create robots that suck away your drinking water. What? That? Okay. Like, please shut up while we actually try. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so, like, how do you think I care about this when I care about actual people? Like, stop telling me all this great stuff robots are doing. I care about people.
What people are
What are
doing.
people going to do in this new world you're creating that looks shittier and shittier by the day? I don't know.
Like our drinking water wasn't already bad to drink, and now the robots are consuming it, giving us the last shitty drinking water.
Right. And what gets me about that is that's just the current process, right? They're like, we don't have another way to cool our systems without using the drinking water. And it's like, then fucking make a way, right?
Yeah.
Because it's our drinking water. Why do you get to go, we can't figure it out? Figure it out.
They got so much technology to do anything
It's just more
nowadays.
expensive. I guarantee there's a way to do it. It's just more expensive. They don't want to cut into their like minuscule profits. Because the thing is, they're not seeing the kind of profits that justify all the stuff they've been doing. They need us all talking about it and using it in order to like actually get their shareholders happy. But like, my dudes, like, I think
It ain't it.
you would have a lot less resistance from Gen Z and people who care about the climate to AI if it looked like the owners of these companies were operating in any way in good faith for the future of humanity. But it seems like they are all hell-bent on sending us into the worst possible timeline at the fastest possible pace. And it's like, why would we be excited about this?
Yeah, no.
We are going to be in the water wars soon.
We're pretty much, our world is fucked up.
So-
like, you know, to like mine Bitcoin, it takes so much energy that we could be using. Instead, we're using it to like mine some sort of like digital currency.
That doesn't even, it like exists, but it doesn't.
It doesn't,
and it's
you know
like,
what I mean?
oh my God, can we Can we get back to basics? Because it's like also like we've all seen Terminator, right? We all know where this goes, and we all also I would say 85 to 90% of us could all agree that corporations are too powerful in this country.
Oh, dude.
So.
It was just proven recently, you know what I mean? Like, we think as Americans we have the power. Nope, it's the 10 people in the fucking...
And that's been legally codified. Like, since Citizens United, like corporations have like gotten so much more powerful we can't even fully understand, I don't think, how powerful and how little our government works for us now.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so we've seen this recipe happen before, right? We've seen corporate greed and intense corporate power coupled with government cooperation with that corporate power. What does that lead to? It leads to mass surveillance, it leads to climate destruction, and it leads to robot uprising and like the end of humanity.
We're just a futuristic Soviet Russia at this point.
Oh, you want to talk about... Okay, so I used to live in Russia.
Ooh,
I
what
have
was
a
that
degree in Russian language, literature, and culture.
Can you speak Russian?
I can speak Russian. Я говорю по-русски.
What does that mean? What's
It means
a
I
Peruski?
speak Russian.
Oh.
Yeah, по-русски is like Russian language.
What was the... fuck. What's a kurba? Is that Polish?
What was that?
Kurba. I think that's Polish.
If it's a swear word that you're trying to say, I was not really allowed to learn those. So in Russian,
What's a suka?
that's a bitch. I know that.
I learned that from Call of Duty, guys.
Yes, exactly. No, but in Russian, cursing is a lot worse than in English. Yes, English it's pretty casual to cuss. You'll hear it in a lot of different situations. In Russia, historically, it has been an indicator of class. It's very, very uncouth to cuss and stuff in certain circles. It's just a lot more.
Is it like
frowned upon.
represent like lower class or something like that? Like
Yeah.
only the lower class
It's
swear
like kind
and
of
stuff like that.
gang affiliated or like crime affiliated. Like it's just not as much a common way to speak to people. You would not. Yeah. So
You ever come across like the Russian mafia, like Bert Kreischer or anything?
I was arrested in Russia.
Oh.
But I was detained. My dad and I argue whether we were arrested. I'm like, hey, we were not allowed to leave the police station. They took our fingerprints, and we had to pay money to leave. That's
I feel like you were
to me.
arrested on bond.
I mean, yeah. So we were poking around doing folklore research. We were recording people singing songs in this kind of rural area of Russia. Unfortunately, we did not have the right visas to do this research, and we were near a nuclear testing point facility or whatever. So they picked us up, and that was interesting. But I've been to Russia 3 times.
In Russia?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then I lived in Siberia.
Was it for like things that maybe you wouldn't have gotten arrested here?
No, I mean, it was literally just the not having the right
Just
visa to
not-
do research.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So they were like, oh, these foreigners.
These foreigners, we can get some money out of them. Let's just scare them and
Yeah,
arrest them. And
that's
it
nuts.
worked, but whatever. I went back in 2019. I studied abroad in Siberia, and that was super cool, but it was probably one of the last times people could go. I mean, like, you can't go there really anymore. I mean, you can. It's just not really recommended.
Yeah.
Now
I kind of want you to roast me in Russian now.
I don't speak it that much anymore. I mean, I mostly speak it with like Uber drivers if I notice that they're like Slavic. But I was gonna say, like, I don't know. I don't want to be too mean.
Mean.
I know.
It makes for great clips. Come on.
But I feel like you walked out of an era where Blockbusters like still exist, and I feel like you like had the only key to the restricted section of Blockbuster, and you were like, I got some movies I can show you. Like that's the vibe that I would get.
Check out this section here, kids. You want to go to the
Exactly.
private section?
You want to see some shit? Yeah.
I'll show you some shit right now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. And, yeah. So that's,
Hell yeah.
that's your roast.
That's my one roast. See that.
But I tend to go like more quirky and like just kind of like silly. I prefer to do like a funny written quirky joke rather than like be really mean at a roast. Like I've noticed. Okay, so I was roasting Noah Wolf most recently, and he's pretty tall. Like he's noticeably tall, so I was doing a lot of jokes about that. And one of my favorites that like no one, I guess, really cared about, but I liked it. I was like, Noah, if I had 2 of you, I'd have a pair of stilts. And it's like, that's not particularly mean, but it's funny. So it's like it got a laugh, and like I think what worked about that battle is he went a little like harder and like more into the like Bronwyn was such a whore, and it's like that coupled with like my like cutesy like and it made the audience more sympathetic towards me. So that kind of worked in my favor.
Do you ever get offended doing roast battles? Like somebody goes too far and you're just like, what the fuck?
Honestly, no, because I think it's like it's all for the love of the game, right? And it's like either it's funny or it's not. And so if you say something that was trying to be really offensive and it doesn't land and the audience doesn't like it, I'm not offended because it didn't work. And then if you do and it's really funny, I'm not offended because that was funny, right? Like it's just kind of like I don't see myself getting worked up that much on stage because I feel like you got to be able to like take it if you dish it out, right? Like you're both there to do that. And it's like if someone's able to offend me, like then I'm clearly not going hard enough at them. I should have some stuff, you know, to throw at them. My friend Olivia Dibsey had this like wild one. I've never cut myself. But like I do understand that I could come across as someone who has, so she used that to her advantage. And she was like, oh yeah, Bronwyn, like she has a slit in her eyebrow, she took a break from like slitting her wrist or something. It was something in that vein, and I was like,
that's for the long sleeves, that makes sense.
yes exactly, right. But I was like so proud of her, like on stage I was like, Olivia, that was damn like okay, it's not true, but it's so like it
was funny, and it makes
really funny,
sense. No, I definitely like I don't get offended easily, so like I definitely, if people say something and it's funny, I'll laugh, kudos to you. If it's not funny, I'll be like, that was kind of lame. I'm not gonna get offended because that shit was lame anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you prepare for roast battles? Like what does that preparation for you look like?
For me, I think it's like first I got to get quantity. Like I got to get like, because you end up with either 5 or 7 jokes for someone. So for me to get those down, I usually write 25 jokes for that person, right? And maybe 4 of those have any legs. But I'm writing junk for lines and lines and lines. I'm like writing whatever I think of. It doesn't even have to be like remotely funny. It's just that process of like so-and-so, da-da-da-da. Like if you're not here, da-da-da-da. Like, so once I have all that like fluff just like written out, then I kind of take a step back and I look at everything I've written. I'm like, okay, what themes are sticking out? Which ones have the most promise? And of the ones that have the most promise, why? Like what is working here and what's not? And then that usually clues me in on like where I need to go next with that and how I need to hone those jokes. I will say that for every battle I have, it's not like every single one of my jokes works. You know, like if I have 7 jokes for someone, probably like 5.5 of them end up working, and that's just how it goes. You know, like some of the it's always surprising because I think I'm always surprised by which ones don't do well and which ones do. Like sometimes one that I think is like, this is like my 4th best, right? And that'll like kill, and I'm like, oh, interesting. And then vice versa. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm so excited for this one, and it doesn't, and I'm like, oh, fuck, sorry, you know.
Sorry, I was too offensive for that.
Yeah, or it just doesn't make sense. Well, I did one for Noah, the tall guy that I really liked, and my sister didn't get it. She ended up telling me, she was like, I don't really understand that one. I said, Noah, you're a liability on a submarine. Like, because to me, and it did work. It did work. But I thought it was obvious of just like, he's too big, you know, like he just like can't, he'd pop it, you know. Yeah. But, you know, sometimes you don't know.
You remember the submarine that imploded all the billionaires?
Yeah, womp womp.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Maybe listen to the people who tell you when things aren't safe.
Like, don't go. Oh, I have a lot of money. It'll be fine because I have a lot of money.
Well, I mean, money can get you many places, but not everything, right? Like I was getting on a plane the other day, and I walked past first class. Like I don't sit in first class, right? I walked past first class. Everyone's got their like big chairs, lots of room, and there's a screaming newborn in like the second row of first class, and you can see everyone. I'm like, money can't buy you out of that, bitch. Money cannot buy you out of that. Like you are stuck on this plane, and I'm in seat 30. I'm actually not gonna hear this fucking kid. You are. You're gonna hear him the whole time.
I'm going to second class. Yeah. Fuck you, first class motherfuckers.
It's just kind of like, I don't revel in people's like, you know, suffering, but it is kind of funny to be like, you know, some things are just gonna happen to you.
let's say you won the lottery right now. What's the first dumb purchase you would do? And not like I'm gonna buy a house, I'm gonna pay out debt. No, like what's the first dumb like I have a shit ton of money purchase you would do?
Chocolate milkshake.
Chocolate milkshake. Like
I'd get
a single chocolate
Well,
milkshake.
I get a
or-
diner milkshake where you like have the chocolate milkshake and then they give you like the rest of it in the in the metal container. I love when they do. I love when they're like, "Here's it," and then "Here you go, you pig," and I'm like, "Yes, thank you." I would probably get a chocolate milkshake while I thought about what I was gonna buy next, but for like actually something sizable that I would buy, I'd probably buy Elden Ring.
Elden Ring the game.
Yeah. I just like haven't pulled the trigger on that yet because I know I would like sink way too much time into
Have you
it.
played it at all?
No, but I play like other like Skyrim was like the first game I ever really
Love
loved.
Skyrim.
Yeah, and then Baldur's Gate 3 I like a lot. I got Oblivion remastered, so I've been like playing through that. I tend to get like really sucked into games, which is why I have to be careful which games I play. But I want to play Elden Ring.
I've played Elden Ring a couple of times. I'm not like a big gamer. I think like the last like where I was in there for days was like Red Dead Redemption. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, of course.
I've I always say it's like a Western GTA.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for Red Dead. It's funny because I flew my brother out last January to help me build a PC because he'd been wanting to help me build a PC forever. And I was like on the phone with him. I'm like, so when does the soldering happen? He's like, there's no soldering in building a PC. I'm like, you're going to have to come out here and help me with this. So I flew him out. We built it, and that was right before I got into comedy. So I have this awesome gaming PC that like I honestly have not used as much as I should because like
what
I've
a
been doing so
shame.
much comedy. But it turned out to be a good thing because you kind of need a lot of processing power to do video editing.
Yeah.
So I built a PC that can also do that.
Do
So I've been
that.
able to do like video editing on it. So
Yeah,
it hasn't been a
that's
complete
cool.
waste, but I have not played video games that much.
What kind of kid were you in high school? Were you like a nerd? Were you like the quiet one? Like how would you describe yourself?
I'd say I floated in a lot of groups, but like one of my main ones was I was a dancer. So I had like my dance group friends, and I did like all different types of dance. So that was like my main activity all the time. I was also a nerd, like definitely a big nerd. Always cared about like always had my nose in a book. And probably a little like socially awkward. I would say I was like I was the class clown in dance. Because I wasn't flexible and I had to have some like redeeming quality, right? And yeah, so I definitely was like nerdy, a little socially awkward in high school. College was a weird time for me too. I think I was like the worst version of myself in college. And then I think after that I just started getting back to like being me and being a normal weirdo.
When did tap dancing come into play?
That I've been doing since I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And it was always my favorite type of dance. I was always like the best at it of all the like versions of dance. I was best at tap for me. And it's just really fun. It's fun to perform. It's a good workout. I started taking classes here in Chicago, and it's been nice to get back into. I would love to somehow incorporate it into my performance. I don't know if I'll put ever like a one woman show, or so. I'll probably do a tap dance.
That'd be
number.
cool.
Yeah, it's sick. I kind of like that now that I'm doing performance based stuff. There's a lot of stuff I can pull from my past that I like have skills in that I never thought I'd be able to bring back. Like, I never thought I'd be doing tap again, but it's a pretty cool skill to have because not everyone can tap.
And I'm pretty sure it'll probably make for like a good punchline sometime
Yeah.
somewhere.
Maybe
if
I
you-
like
if you
don't
think
even
about
announce
it.
that I'm wearing tap shoes, right? And then
Oh,
I suddenly like
just
do something.
belt
yeah.
out and tap dance.
Exactly.
That's always hilarious. Oh man. So we're kind of coming close to the end of our interview here, but I just had a couple more questions. So you partake in the marijuana stuff, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you ever infuse it with like food or anything?
Yeah, I've had like these infused honey sticks that I like. There's these chocolate mint cups that are made by this one company that are really, really good. I do like edibles a lot because it's a little bit of like less harsh on my lungs. I definitely have been worried about my lungs a little bit because I'm like, oh, I've been smoking for like years. I'm sure this is gonna like affect me at some point, right? But I guess that's what getting older is like, right? Of being like, oh shoot, this habit that I've had might be having an effect.
I'm about to be 30 this year, and when when I was 20, like between 20 and like 24, I was doing so much shit that right now I'm just like, I cannot do that anymore.
Are you stretching every day? We're supposed to be stretching every day.
Is that what that is?
Well, I mean, like, oh, it is rough. I do handstands now for because I don't like to work out. I really don't. I like to go on walks, and I like to do other unconventional, like, to me, I don't have a history or any skill or ability to walk into a gym and like know how to use the machines and like get a workout in. Like, I don't know how to do that, and I don't like it.
I just go straight to the treadmill and I run for an hour, and I'm like, I went to the gym, guys.
That I could do. Like, but I much prefer like going on a walk. What I'll do instead is like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I have a comedy thing. I'll walk. Like it's an hour walk, thing, but yeah. I'll walk. Like I have an hour
back.
Yeah. So I'll do that.
Gym.
And then handstands are just for like body strength stuff. So that's been going well. But
is there like some things that you've noticed? Like, I don't know how old you are, but like, is there some things that you've
26.
26? Is there some things that you've noticed now as a 26-year-old that you were like when you were like maybe 18? There's like easier to do.
Everything. Definitely easier to like go out late and recover for the next day. I think I'm still able to get away with a lot more than I will in a couple of years. So I'm trying to take advantage of it.
Trust me, when I was 26, I was still going out and freaking partying every day.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna like hit me more and more and more. But yeah.
I always ask people like, does it hurt to turn 30? And they're all like, just a little bit.
Like physically hurts a little bit.
I have a few months left before I turn 30, so I'm just like, all right, let me
just waiting for it.
Let me go beat up my body a little bit more before I turn 30.
Yeah. Well, for sure, it's like because everything that you're supposed to do is gonna be harder to start doing later. So yeah, I gotta start now or whatever.
Oh yeah. So before we end the show, is there anybody that you would like to give a cool shout out to? Any people that come to mind?
I mean, like all my buddies that I've made in comedy, like the real ones, the day ones.
Day ones, A1s.
Yeah, day ones. I think like everyone. I'm kind of someone that doesn't have I have my like close friends and I pour a lot into them, and then like I know a lot of people. Like I have a lot of
that makes sense.
But it's like it's kind of like one or the other, and like I feel like the people who are in my like they know exactly how much they mean to like and how important they are to me. And I like to really just I don't know. I love the people that are in my life now, and like I think there's a reason for all of that. And then I really like meeting new people too.
I feel that. Yeah.
But yeah, I have a mentor from Syracuse that I still meet with monthly, and she's like a huge inspiration.
What's her name?
Erica Haber. Yeah.
Shout out Erica.
She's the best. She was my Russian professor, and yeah. So there's a lot of people. I'm very lucky to have a lot of people in my life.
Now, you did mention earlier you had a couple of shows coming up or some. Where can people find you, and do you know what dates you're going to be performing?
Yeah, so I post a lot for my upcoming dates on my Instagram, like @6Bronwyn. Coming up most immediately this Friday, I've got a show at Stars and Garters, the re-up on Saturday at Primetime at the Lodge. Monday I'm at Zany's for the Super 6 show. My next Trombone Dumping show with Glenn Rose is March 27th at the Lincoln Lodge. Yeah, I've got a ton of shows lined up for March and April, which I'm very excited about, and I would love to see you at a show. But again, DM me if you want tickets. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And thank you so much for having me on. This has been
Bronwyn,
great.
you have been an amazing guest. I've had so much fun. I didn't realize it was already 2 hours.
I know. Time flew, huh? Bang, bang, bang.
Boom. And, yeah, I mean, I'll probably be catching you at your next show.
Sweet.
I'll be.
Please, yeah. Would love to have you, Jay.
Try to be there.
Heck yeah.
Do you have any last messages for the people watching us today?
If you want to do something, try it, because life is short and you might as well, and no one cares what you do except you ultimately at the end of the day.
Show up if you want to be seen, guys. That's
Show up if you want to be seen.
Something we preach here at Hawkwinds Radio. Well, everybody, it was a really good show today. I had a lot of fun. I hope everybody watching had a lot of fun. Thank you, Bronwyn, for coming by. I know the weather was fucking shit today.
All good.
But
Yeah.
You know, Chicago.
Chicago, best city in the
Chicago,
world.
best city in the world, other than Austin and New York. Just kidding. No, Chicago's the best. Fuck every other. Oh man. Well, thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you guys tune in next week. This is Hawkwinds Radio Picture Show. I'm your host Jay Smooth, coming to you guys from the Q